Hello, welcome to Tea with Paul. I'm Paul. We have some tea. So this is Tea with Paul. Some years ago, back when I was at university, about 7 years ago, there was a show called Tea with Paul. It was a talk show where we had tea and talked with me, Paul. Tea with Paul. You see, you get the gist of what we're saying here. It's tea, talk, Paul, tea with Paul. That's the show. This is the talk show we're doing right now. And, it was on the air for a couple of episodes while I was at university as commissioned. And then nothing in culture happened for 7 years. Nothing at all. Just not a single thing. But then the entire country would put on lockdown and we all couldn't see each other or, talk in person. And we all needed entertainment to, pass the time. And I was like, well, I had a talk show. That's talking, and there's a show. That's entertainment. Why don't I bring it back for our lockdown life that we now live? So that's what we're doing. I brought back Tea with Paul. There's tea, there's Paul, it's Tea with Paul. That's the show. Thank you for joining us for this ridiculous adventure into the wild world of Tea with Paul. Where's my arm? There it is. I'm Paul Douglas. I'm your host. Joining me as my first guest on Tea with Paul, we have Luke Breen. Hello, Luke.
Hey, good to see you. Good to be on.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, all considering the lockdown.
Good.
Yeah.
And also alongside us, we have Hannah. Hello, Hannah.
Hello. I should be. It's like existentialism. Am I really here?
Yes, I mean that's kind of a question everybody's asking lately.
And okay.
So this is Tea with Paul. My guests are over here. We're gonna have a little chat for about an hour or so. Have some good fun. If you've got any comments, feel free to post them. We'll have a look and see if you've got anything, worth contributing to the discussion. Anything you want to say? I will say up front, with the lockdown and everything, it's all been thrown together very much as we were. So everyone is just making do with what we had. The internet is taking a pasting from everyone trying to use it at once. We're just using the equipment that we had, old webcams, the microphones on hand. So if there's some funky audio and video, that's unfortunately the way it's going to have to be. But we'll try and get through it all together and see if we can pass the time as none of us can go outside. Shame as it is. Yeah. So, speaking of not being able to go outside, guys.
Yep.
How have you been dealing with your isolation? How are you feeling in Corona Britain?
Yeah, it's an interesting one now. Definitely something different that I think not a lot of us have ever been used to.
It's weird little things I'm finding. Just every time you think about doing something. Oh, there's Bongo.
Yeah, this is Bongo. He will bark and come in and out because he likes the attention. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I mean, for me, it's this one. He's not getting many of the W words, so that's the biggest thing at the minute. Is trying to work out getting him out.
There's nothing.
But thankfully, I have a garden, so it's not that terrible.
There's nothing worse than a doggy who is being prevented from going on his walkies.
I know. The problem as well is it's a case of like the walk he was on earlier today. He saw his dog friends, but he didn't go and say hello because obviously keep the distance from the owners.
Yeah.
So he didn't actually get to see his friends. They could only bark at each other from the other sides of the pavement.
Which is what we're basically all doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all barking at everyone from the side of the pavement because, we're all turning slow barking mad. But,
You open the window, shove your head out and say hello to a passing stranger, and they look at you like a crazy person. Because I mean, yeah. It's an odd
but
thing
in
to
about
do.
2 weeks, we'll really appreciate the social interaction.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. You go outside if you go into the shop or you're doing your daily exercise or whatever. I don't know about you guys, but I'm finding it very odd that I'm like consciously making an effort to like make a huge beeline around people.
Yeah.
There's another person on the pavement. I'm going to go and walk on the cycle path.
Yeah, I
When going
mean,
for
it's
walks,
like
we'll both do that. Where it ends up kind of both of us end up on the grass with the pavement, just no one's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the whole of after you, but you're both crossing the road at the same time.
Yes, it's very difficult doing this when you're British because you always want to let the other person go.
Yeah, and it's like if we're not careful, we're just going to end up walking in the road because, actually enough people walk in the middle of the road, but that's a different reason. But yeah, it's like where I live, it's not exactly the busiest of streets, but it's a bit of a cut through street. And it's a case of normally on a Saturday, because it's a match day, normally get loads of people. I live near close to the football stadium in Hull. We get loads of people on the footpath. I think I've probably about 3. And it's like I live actually across the road. It's technically across the road from the nearest park as well. So I was kind of thinking that people would be parking up on here to go to the park, but we're not getting that, which is a good thing. But at the same time, it's like, okay, if that makes sense.
I'm wondering if the logical
because the parks are still staying open. Yeah, there's no logic behind anything at the minute.
I'm wondering if the logical endpoint of all this is going to be the total breakdown of streets, roads, pathways, and that most British invention, the queue. I don't remember the last time I saw an actual queue.
Oh, God. No. Yeah. God, no. And it's like, we should be respecting people's personal space with social distancing. So why is everyone all of a sudden just crowding around you when at the supermarket trying to buy something?
I stood still.
It's like, I just want to... It's like you want to scream at them, respect my space, but then they think you're about a 15-year-old website.
I had to stand still for about 5 solid minutes because I didn't want to squeeze past the people who were raiding the trolley full of UHT milk putbacks.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, guys, you can't just keep diving in there on both sides so there's no space. I can't get past you.
That's not the bigger problem around here is I went to Aldi. Case of, because obviously the aisles are really narrow. They're asking you just to keep stagger yourself 2 meters behind. And round here, you're just getting people going, I only want this, I'm going straight past. And it's just like, fucking out loud, guys. You've got nothing else to do. You're just leaving the house the one time today. You can just wait a few minutes. But,
how are things across the Irish Sea there, Luke?
Yeah.
Pretty much similar. I haven't been out of the house that often. Most times it's usually just for the exercise. Most days I haven't today, but it's been dead everywhere.
Careful.
I've never seen my town as quiet before, ever. It's really bizarre.
So, not going out much. And when you go out, you're spending all your time, trying to avoid everyone you can see. What are you doing to pass your time over there?
Yeah.
Well, pretty much the biggest godsend that happened since this was launched Disney Plus which I think all of us have probably been using quite a lot of, thanks to this. Probably more than we expected to, even though we were expecting to use it a lot.
Yeah,
But,
they timed it well, completely by accident, with it being
Down.
the day the lockdown really properly started.
And I also got a little bit fortunate where for people who don't know, I had to cancel a trip to America just before the ban went in that included the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So we just cancelled just kind of a few days before that. But by a stroke of luck, my Xbox arrived. So I have a new Xbox.
There you go.
So I've also been spending time playing that.
So what have you been streaming and playing to pass your time?
Well,
What are Luke's takes?
The go-to in Disney Plus has been classic Simpsons, of course.
Of course.
Because it's hard not to go when you've got
Yeah.
all 30 seasons. It's hard not to go, right, I'm going for the classics. I'm going to rewatch some favorites.
How do you feel about the remasters? Air quotes.
I didn't notice it at first. Then I watched a few episodes where I was noticing the visual guys were out of the picture because of the zoom in.
Yeah. Some of them are not, perfect, but fine. Most of the time. But it definitely does at times drag jokes out of the picture or just look weird.
Yeah.
Not always in the most obvious ways. Some of the sort of the mid-season ones, the teens and whatever. The cropping or warping might not be that bad, but you might notice that because they've enhanced it so much, you can physically see the layers of the fell. So you get shadows that you can see.
So sometimes you kind of like, this looks kind of straight. It's a Simpsons, but it looks different.
Yeah, the edges are too prominent, or there's a little darkness here and there. Yeah. So what have you been playing on your Xbox? Your brand new one?
Well, it came with one of the reasons why I wanted to get it was new Forza Horizon. Well, I said no, it came out last year, was it, or the year before?
I believe the year before. I can't remember. Something like that.
I'm impressed given how well it's still maintained and how busy it still is on there. Because I have absolutely loved that game. I've pretty much done most of it done now. Just haven't got the gold and everything, but I don't know if I'm going to bother. I just kind of wanted to play it, do everything I could. I'm kind of happy with it now. It's something I can jump back into if I want to. But I'm pretty happy with it. I really enjoyed it.
Sounds like you've jumped far ahead of me. I have it because I've got Game Pass. I've played quite a bit of it, but or a little bit of it. But I only got a little way in before I had to play some other things. I have a huge backlog to get through right now. So
I'm the same, and I can't pick. I can't decide what I want to play next, which is my issue because I've been pretty much using the joy of the Game Pass app where you can just download things on the fly.
Yeah.
I've been just, I'll download that. I'll download that. And then, right, what do I actually want to play? Right, these are all downloaded. Now I don't know which one to choose.
It's always the way. Yeah. Got 4 or 5 things that are on the go that I'm still not finished with. Oh,
what do you already got?
There's Forza Horizon and gosh, I've got Connect Disneyland. Well, Disneyland Adventures now without the Connect downloaded that I still need to play some of. I've got Cities Skylines is sitting there. Not even just the Xbox as well. There's PlayStation. I only got part of the way into Breakpoint, and they just big update to that I need to get back into. I've got a copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I haven't played yet. I need to play that.
Yeah. I got it too, and I haven't even finished Origins yet because I wanted to finish it before I jumped into it. But I just wanted to. You always get a massive backlog.
I haven't finished Wolfenstein 1, so I haven't played Wolfenstein 2, even though I've got all of this, and more stuff keeps coming. Hannah, what have you been streaming with your Disney Plus since it's officially launched here in the UK?
Officially. I've literally just been watching The Simpsons. I found I can only watch about 4 episodes in one go before needing a break from it.
We're very different people.
I don't know why, but it's like, no. I've just found I can't binge watch it. But it's like one thing because I've literally just been watching it from episode 1 onwards. I've not been making highlights for like particular episodes. It's the whole thing about Homer's decline from being a well-intentioned yet stupid dad into just being a court jester. You can actually see it as it progresses. It's slowly happening.
As it goes from Walter Matthau to what he became.
Yeah, well, that too. But it's just one of those things that is like, obviously, watching it over the years, you don't really realise it as much. But watching it in intensive bursts, you realise they're actually, like, yeah, you can tell they've written Homer to be the idiot over just well-intentioned dad who doesn't really engage his brain. If that makes sense. That's how I've seen it.
Yeah. I think that's probably a result of the popularity of Homer as well, though, was when the season started, Bart was supposed to be the centerpiece. But then over time, the popularity of Homer came, and then he became the center of the story.
Oh, definitely. But it is very, very telling. I mean, it's also like a case of watching the movie. And it's like I still think that the movie jumped the shark a bit.
Really? It's a controversial opinion.
At the time, I loved it. I know it's a controversial opinion, but it's about the same time when Matt Groening completely left The Simpsons to focus on just Futurama, and obviously now he's doing Disenfranchisement as well. I do think it's when you look at things and you look at like the timings when Matt Groening took further steps back away from it, you can kind of see that it's kind of lost some of it. But I do think the movie kind of jumped the shark a bit. And then the actual episodes following that, I still think The Simpsons should have been cancelled. It's controversial, and as much as I love The Simpsons, and I've loved The Simpsons since I was old enough to remember watching cartoons, I still think it should have been cancelled a few years ago. I don't give a flying...
You've gone from a controversial opinion on the movie to the most basic opinion on the show.
No, I know it's one of the most basic, but I do think the movie should have been like the final, like, goodbye, almost. I know that is a very, very basic TV to movie concept, but it's a case of... I don't know, because like, I don't have live TV anymore, so it's a bit different. But when I do catch the odd episode of The Simpsons of the new stuff, it's like they've done this storyline before, but with this character and this character. I think the last episode I saw that was genuinely new was one that the main story was Mr. Burns. It was around Christmas time. I can't remember the actual details, but it was like the first original story I've. Like true original, like I can't think of any elements of earlier episodes of The Simpsons that it comes from. I'm gonna like literally log on to Twitter after this and get loads of hate from Simpsons fans. I know it.
I don't know about that. I like New Simpsons, but it seems like almost everyone else on Earth hates it. So you might.
The problem is because I don't have live TV anymore. I think I'm gonna have to be catching up with it on Disney Plus. But the other thing that I've watched and enjoyed was the Imagineering story, and I think we can all just slowly move on to that one. Because obviously we can talk about the first 2 episodes now that it's actually on Disney Plus UK as well. I mean, it's like the ending of the first episode where they talk about Walt's death and how Disneyland, for some adults, is better than any psychiatric help. I'm paraphrasing completely about any psychological, psychiatric help. And it's like, well, it kind of is. It's like the one place, 6 places in the world that you can be a kid as an adult and you don't get judged for it.
Yeah, I think the line
Like completely.
Not necessarily more to heal, but definitely more to soothe. Something like that.
Yeah. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something about like Disney gives adults. I could probably Google it. But yeah, that line at the very end, and then it's just like, it's also, there's a Defunct Land episode. Shut up, Google. There's a actually no, there's a Defunct Land episode that came up earlier this month. I can't remember the dates, about the original theme park that was going to be built opposite the Burbank Studios.
Mickey Mouse Park.
That's watching as well to compliment. Yeah, Mickey Mouse Park. But if you watch that Defunct Land episode the same time as watching the first episode of the Imagineering story, the two gel up really well together.
Have you guys seen the first 2 episodes, or have you seen more? Or
I'm on UK time, so
I've seen all of the first.
Yeah, you are in for it.
I've seen all of them, so
for the rest of the episodes.
Yes,
it
you
just
are.
gets better and better. It really does.
I've been quite insistent about no spoilers.
Yeah.
It seems odd to
All
say
I'm
about.
saying is,
It seems odd to say about a documentary, but I know it's going to be. But so that's.
No, because it's there's like one bit that at the time when it was aired, I mean, Disney Parks have released the clip, so I can talk about it. It's not really a spoiler. The Spider-Man animatronic.
Please don't.
Yeah. They've got a clip of the future, and it shows them doing that.
Please stop.
Anyway, it's been on the Disney Parks blog. I can talk about it.
I haven't seen it.
Just talk about Galaxy's Edge. Get your own back. Talk about Smuggler's Run and talk about Rise of the Resistance. Which I still don't know when I'm going to see it.
I haven't seen Galaxy's Edge. Luke has.
Most of it.
Yeah, this is when Luke crosses.
I should have seen Rise by now, but thanks to everything going on, I haven't.
I do know.
Yeah, well, I'm in the same boat there.
I do know one kind of spoiler about Rise, but it was something I wanted to know, so it's fine.
I watched the full ride route, so I know everything to expect in it, but I still can't wait, because I know I'm going to be surprised, because there's going to be things I've forgotten. And things are always different. Well, it's like seeing it for yourself.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't generally watch a lot of YouTube videos of shows or rides or I post them because I know other people like to watch them and that's great. But for me, a lot of the time, unless it's like to relive something that I was there for, and you just want to get the magic, get some reminder. I don't like to go and watch something I haven't seen just because it just won't be the same.
No, I tried.
So Mickey's Runaway.
No, I haven't seen that either.
Okay.
Yeah, I stay spoiler free, specifically with Paris, because if I'm going soon to see it, I'll try and avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, though, I'll not bother too much. Sometimes I will look for it. When it came to Galaxy's Edge, my kind of rule was, right, no spoilers about smugglers, but the rest of the land, if I see the rest of the land, that's fine.
Yeah.
That was kind of my rule.
Yeah.
I think that works because
I sort of did the same thing, but not really consciously. At first, I wasn't really looking at any detail about the land. I was reading a lot about it, but not like seeing video or even that many photos necessarily. But as time went on, I sort of just naturally became more lax about seeing the land.
Yeah.
But the rides I still mostly don't know that much about internally.
One thing I'll say to you about the land, you can look at all the photos you want of the land area. It's still going to feel completely new going into it. Just the way it's been designed and laid out, with the sight lines are, especially in Disneyland, just are perfect, and the immersion.
Well, I
is
saw them
incredible.
when they were being built. Oh,
Oh,
sorry, that might be my phone. Yeah, I was there in Disneyland in November 2018, and the outer work had just been finished. It was then moving on to the inner works, but it was a case of they could see the rock formations behind. What was I on? I want to say I was on the Matterhorn, but I wouldn't have seen it. But I was on the monorail, and I was looking out over towards Big Thunder, and it blends in so well. I mean, obviously the rocks are grey. I don't know if they painted them orange to match, but they were grey then.
Great. One thing you'll find, if you go on the Disneyland Railroad, absolutely seamless. Like the new wee area they built there.
The railroad was closed.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
They
I
were
think the
reprofiling.
railroad was closed. Yeah,
Definitely
I
got
can't
on it.
remember 100%. If it was open, I didn't go on it, but
Definitely make sure you do it.
I'm pretty sure it was definitely because when I was there, because Critter Country in its entirety was gone when I was there because they were still putting it in. It was that long ago.
It's also the rare occasion where a train goes left.
Oh yeah,
The train goes left. It
doesn't really happen that often, does it?
No, it's weird. It's a weird feeling. Thinking, oh, wait, this is different.
Because it's going that way. So yeah.
Yeah.
I did get to ride the monorail. That was fine. It's crazy that that one's basically a loop, but it does go outside the park.
Yeah. It's weird going into the park, like entering the park that way, which you can do.
Yeah.
We did that sometimes. We did that a few times where we went through downtown, and that was us getting into the park.
I think I might have left the park by doing that to get into Disney Village one day.
Yeah, it's definitely something you should do.
Downtown
Just because
Disney.
it's so weird.
Yeah, I know. All the bloody nerds are going to be having a go at me now.
I only use the monorail, but I'm assuming you're talking about the monorail.
Yeah.
But yeah, I only used the monorail when I stayed at the Disneyland Hotel because it's right next door. Because to get to my other hotel, it was actually quicker to cut through the Grand Californian. It cut off like a good, because the other route was, because I was staying on Catella, I wasn't staying on Harbour Boulevard. So I had to go through downtown, past the hotel downtown. But I realised if I cut through the Grand Californian, 20 minutes off my journey. So even in the morning, we're like, you've got to have a reservation. I was like, I do. I'm going to Storytellers every morning. And thankfully it wasn't supposed to go every morning. Otherwise you'd have wondered why the hell every morning. But yeah, I only really used the monorail when I was staying at the Disneyland Hotel because it was just a case of it was there and it was next to the hotel. And it was a case of one day I had, what was it? I did the thing about tripping up on the tracks down Main Street on the first day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so my ankle went pretty early on. So it was a case of I couldn't walk as much as I wanted to. And I did the Christmas guided tour the day before. So it was a case of my ankle was a bit, that the day that I was actually staying at the Disneyland Hotel. So I was making a point of actually using the monorail, mainly just if anything, just to stop that little extra walk. I
Yeah,
didn't actually go on it for the full loop. I was just used as a transportation.
Don't put your
Bob
feet
Gale
in
would be
the
proud.
track. Don't put your feet in the tracks, people. Top tip.
Yeah,
Sit back.
don't do that. It was a case of I was in the first aid bay for a good half hour with an ice pack on my ankle
That happened to
because
me.
I just couldn't move it.
That happened to me during the fireworks at one of the New Year's Eve parties. I think not last year, but the year before.
Ooh.
We were the entire main street, and the plaza was thronging with people. Obviously, as the lots of fireworks. It's New Year.
Yeah.
Everyone's the kind of thing you would never see now. People standing literally on top
Oh, yeah,
of each
yeah.
other. It's just thinking back, it's absurd. But like, I think as the countdown was on, or possibly during the fireworks itself, but while I was recording, so it was definitely during the actual display of some guy decided he wanted to go back towards the exit, and he did this by going through the crowd. And so he's like,
rather than the arcade, the sensible option.
So I mean, we were like right in the middle of the crowd where Main Street emerges onto the plaza. So in that sort of area, right in the middle of that part of the T junction, if you like. So he was completely making an arse of it by going the most preposterous, most inconvenient way he could. And as he's barging past me, because we were roughly in the middle, my foot goes in the track. And I can't see. It's pitch black and there's people all around. And so, down I go. So if you watch one of my videos of that fireworks, you can actually see at some point you kind of hear me go, "It's an awful time to do this, mate." And then shortly after that, the camera sort of goes, and it's because I'm falling into a hole.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't get injured, so that would have been a bad way to start a year.
I have a confession. Yeah, I have a confession to make. Once at Disneyland Paris, I was one of the people that jumped one of the barriers into the flower beds to watch the nighttime show.
Luke, call the park police.
They'll just shrug their shoulders. I've behaved. I only did it once.
You get away with it in Paris, to be fair. They don't care.
Yeah.
One guest flow will show up and wave a torch and say, get off, and then walk away once you do, and then never come back. So
exactly. And it was a case of where we were stood. We were stood, where the fountain is for Plaza Gardens.
Yeah.
Just as it goes onto the hub from there. We were on that bit, and it was a case of a family of about, it was Spanish week as well. And a family of about 6 to 8 stood in front of us. And I just went, you know what? And I literally just hopped the barrier to stand the other side. So I had something to lean against because I'm a bit wobbly, as most people know. So it was like, if I'm this side, I'm not going to get knocked. And there was logic behind it. I wasn't doing it to get a better view. I was doing it mainly because I was just so scared of getting knocked. And it was before I knew about the green passes. So, now I know just to go to the front and I'll be all right.
Park police will let you
We live and learn. Yeah, thank you.
So, what are you with, obviously, Luke, you had a trip planned. I think, and Hannah, you did as well, didn't you, to California a little bit later, but also affected. What are the things from, we're all park fans, obviously, Disney fans. What are the things from the parks that, even setting aside just the fact that you were planning to go, just knowing that you can't, what are the things that you liked knowing you could go and get that you can't right now? Or go and do?
Dole Whip.
Dole Whip. Mm-hmm.
Dole Whip. Yeah.
Or
actually,
pineapple,
to be honest,
or pineapple whip. It's French cousin. It's just as good.
You can blur it out, but that's what I say in relation to Pineapple Whip. Also, Dole Whip's vegan. Actually, the main thing I've been missing for me is actually walking through DCA middle of the afternoon just before the local crowds come in. So it's just that nice warmth. The park's relatively quiet, and one of the things I really liked was the Paradise Pier by the Little Mermaid and then through Grizzly Peak Walk.
DCA
because yeah, it was like with DCA, I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. But I think it's because, I don't know, I think it's because being burnt too many times by studios to think about a decent second park.
It was my favorite park when I was there in 2016, but they have since ruined it and they put Galaxy's Edge in the other park, so I don't know if that would still hold up.
Oh god, the Guardians ride is beautiful. It's a really good ride. The actual ride itself within the building, it's beautiful, really well executed. But the whole building itself from the outside is so ugly.
That's not really what I meant by them ruining it, because when I was there, they were still building that, so it was actually even more unsightly because they were constructing the new facade while the ride was still operating. So I got to do late checkout. What I was referring to was Pixar Pier.
Oh yeah, you didn't you? Yeah. Oh, Pixar Pier. Oh god, you can tell that's a cheap overlay.
Luke, have you accidentally muted yourself? Because we can't hear you speaking.
Yeah, I think he has.
Or perhaps your AirPods have run out of battery. I don't know. Yeah, the thing.
Anyway, we'll talk about Pixar Pier and Luke can join in.
When I see him pop back in, yeah, Pixar Pier. Yeah. I mean, I imagine it's not nearly as bad as I make it out to be, but the problem for me is I liked Paradise Pier a lot. It was the one thing, basically, from original DCA that probably worked as it was. I mean, they made a couple of changes.
I can imagine.
Retheming the orange stinger to Silly Symphony Swings, but it.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah, but it was mostly as it was. Luke, you back?
Yeah.
Ooh, a little bit.
But yeah, for me with Paradise Pier, yeah, if muffled.
Keep trying. Say more than 2 words.
Anything better now? How about now?
That's better.
Yes, I can hear you now.
So where were we?
It's Pier.
Yeah,
I was Pixar Pier.
I was expecting to hate
Pixar Pier.
I didn't mind it.
Had you seen Paradise Pier before it though?
Only people in video.
Yeah, see.
So I appreciate that. There is that. I didn't get to see it. But for what it was, I didn't think it was terrible. There's parts of it that, they seem kind of cheap, but it still has that pier kind of theme around it. It's as opposed to being just full Pixar. It's still a pier. There's just some Pixar touches here and there.
I think you guys have an advantage on me in that respect because for me, they ruined it, whereas for you guys, it's just judging it on its own merit. I'm comparing it to what it was.
Well, the other thing is, when I was there, the Mood Swings, as I like to call it, and Jesse's Critter Carousel wasn't open by that point. It was still all behind construction walls.
Oh, that's right.
So it was a case of
unfinished, didn't they?
Yeah. It was a case of the only ride. I didn't go on Midway Mania because it was minus 2 days. It was pretty much a solo trip. So it was a case of Midway Mania on your own's a bit naff. I enjoyed Incredicoaster a lot. It was a lot. I'm not the best with launch coasters, but I really enjoyed that one. But one thing I found about bit like they just added in plastic characters just to give it a theme when it didn't actually need it.
I had a lot of affection for California Screaming, so I don't like
Yeah.
what they put into Incredicoaster.
I'm kind of the same from Incredicoaster. Like beforehand, before I went, I still saw it as Screaming, just because it was California Screaming.
Yeah.
That's something I always saw it as. Then I went on it. Yeah, the theme is it's not the best theme thing in the world, but it's not bad. It's harmless. And when you really look at California Screaming, it was no theme. So you've got this or just nothing at all. So I think I may as well have this.
Again, I think.
I mean, the story behind it's good.
This is something where we're going in untainted, if you like. It has an advantage because I have the connection to what it was.
Yes, definitely.
It's like how people like yourself, Luke, who are very fond of Phantom Manor, have strong opinions on the changes to it. Whereas I like it, but it's not like one of my like go-to attractions or anything. So it's like the changes don't really have any impact on me.
No, totally get you to where.
Phantom Manor for me, it's a case of one of Fitzgerald by the collars and asking what the hell he was thinking of.
I like that they put the old narration back in.
Oh, the Vincent Price narration they couldn't anyway, and some of the overlay, but it's the whole Melanie. This is my feminist coming out here, but it's a case of Melanie in the original storyline was waiting for her groom, and because he never arrived, she waited for him for eternity. And I like the ambiguity about not knowing who the Phantom was, even though it was always strongly suggested it was a dad or the Firebird. But then it's like the new storyline. She's just like, I know the whole thing with Constance in Haunted Mansion is that Constance has all these husbands, but it's like
they're trying too hard.
They tried to put too much attention into Phantom Manor when it never needed it. The only thing it really needed was a good clean, the audio resyncing, and maybe a lot of light bulbs changing, because I remember going on it with Darren and we both just turned each other out when we got to about the mirror scene, and we were like, the hallway scene, should I say, not the mirror scene, we know which we're on about. And we're saying, is it me or is it a lot darker than usual? And then we realised as we were going around it that it was a case of the lights weren't as bright as usual.
Yeah.
Light bulbs.
All it needs
the
rehaul.
Shock.
I know, maintenance. Ooh. But yeah, it was like, I appreciate that when the cast member unfortunately passed away with Phantom Manor, that they had to stop a lot of maintenance work. But it's like, oh, sorry, excuse me. That's my. Oh yeah.
Nope.
But it's like, I just don't get it. It's just like,
not a fan.
It's a case of no. I mean, I went to the launch party. And I went on it, and my first reaction was they tried to put too much Haunted Mansion into it to make it. They've tried to put too much Haunted Mansion in it to homogenize it, and I'm in the firm camp of every Disney park should have its unique attractions in order for people to visit. I'm not a big fan of IP overlays and everything. It's like whenever someone says, oh, Disneyland Paris needs Tron, Disneyland Paris needs a Cars Land replica. No, it doesn't. Cars Land is unique DCA because it's based on the desert it's probably the Arizona desert, but it's close enough to California to be part of California, if you get what I'm saying. It's based on Route 66, and Route 66 starts in California. And it's like what was the other, like Mickey's Runaway Mine Train. I appreciate why they're moving it into Toontown, and Toontown makes perfect sense for it. But at the same time, it's like every park around the world does not need the same ride. It's like, is it Peter Pan or is it Dumbo that ride? I think it's Peter Pan. Yeah, I think it's Peter Pan because it's a Dumbo in Shanghai. Is the only ride. Oh no, it might be Dumbo. I'm not too sure. It's one of the two. It's Dumbo or Peter Pan. I can't remember which.
I'd be
The
shocked
only
if there's no
ride
Dumbo
that is in
there.
every park around the world.
I would actually have guessed Ultron, but
It's like the Marvel.
I don't
It's
think
like
that's
the Marvel Avengers campuses, whatever it is. I like how it's like each individual Marvel campus in Hong Kong, Anaheim, and Paris is its own land. I don't get why they haven't done that with Galaxy's Edge, that each different one was a different trading port. That would have been such an easy thing to do.
You could
Yeah,
have had the
different
same-
planets, different trading ports.
You could have had the same attractions. Just, the Millennium Falcon's on Batuu.
Yeah,
Oh, now it's on
exactly.
Hoth. No, it's at Tatooine or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I just don't understand this. I mean, it's Chapek, so he's trying to cut corners and save money.
I think the thing you have to remember with stuff like this is we're weird in that we actually have a reason to care. Most people are only going to see one or two of the resorts in their lifetime.
Oh yeah, that's the difference. It's like, yeah, my ultimate goal is to go to every Disney park in the world.
Right. So it
makes
sense for them to be more unique.
Yeah.
I think every park should have unique things, but I don't think it's realistic from a financial perspective to say that every single thing should be distinct completely in every single one, because the economics of it are basically, these are huge capital expenses, and there's, with Harry Potter in particular, that's changed the game such that we know everything big and e-ticket has to be part of an immersive land, really, to compete.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen them cheap out. It's Pixar Playland, or sorry, Twister Playland, and it's fine, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's like going back to the original point about my rant was like, Phantom Manor could have just Phantom Manor. It didn't need the Haunted Mansion extra. Like, appreciate. It's like the armor when the first thing you see when you're going in on the right hand side. That armor is an original. It's an original heartback to when they actually had in the original Haunted Mansion Disneyland. They actually had a cast member in a suit of armor to work people. But and it's like, I appreciate that is an original callback, which is very popular within Imagineering, is to have. But at the same time, it's like
Phantom Manor piece of history. It's a Haunted Mansion piece of history.
Exactly. It shouldn't. The two Phantom. What are the next they're going to do? Put Hatbox Ghost in Mystic Manor.
Well, here's the thing. So, like, what if I said that one of the reasons they got into this trouble creatively is they're having to lean too much on these refurbs they've been doing because they haven't put any new attractions in Disneyland Park since Buzz Lightyear, was it? For proper new attraction, they would probably say Star Tours: The Adventures Continue, but again, it's a re-theme. It's a very extensive one, but so do you think they're having to lean too much on their refurbs now?
Absolutely, yes. Why? I think that's one of the main reasons Phantom got such a change. I think it's partly it did need a change in terms of mechanically and technically, and I think they took the opportunity and says, a lot of people always say the story's vague. We kind of need something new in the park as it is. Let's just change it up while we're doing this refurb anyway, and then we can try and advertise it as something different. Which I'm kind of surprised they didn't, especially when they did with Tower. I'm surprised they didn't try and give it a subtitle like they did with Tower.
Phantom Manor New Haunting or something.
Something generic and
Phantom Manor Mission 2.
Mm.
That has to be the
Phantom Manor.
laziest name for an attraction ever.
I can't remember the name of Bride in French. La Marie. No, that's Mare. No, La Marie Perdue or something like that. Lost Groom.
That's way more effort than I would expect them to put into it.
for them at the moment.
Yeah, I can't remember the name for Bride, but actually, The Lost Groom is actually probably more an apt title for the original Phantom Manor, actually.
I call it Phantom Manor Classic.
The original.
Yep.
I mean, it's like I've not been to Disneyland Paris since June last year, and I was only there for the day, and I was there with the first time, so it was a different experience. And I went on it and I explained to her the original story and how it tied into Thunder Mesa. The original story tying into Thunder Mesa, which is obviously one of the more you have to do that, the original story into Thunder Mesa. But it's like the whole new storyline has nothing to do with Thunder Mesa anymore. And it's like when you watch the Tony Baxter tour of Frontierland from the 20th anniversary, it's like I just don't understand how they've got rid of it.
How do you integrate a live stage production as a through-song musical of The Lion King into the Frontierland story?
And the name of the place, Frontierland Theatre. After the place had a name. That's another thing I don't like.
It's a terrible name. The Frontierland Theatre.
Why? They
My
had a
friends
name.
My friends
You
messaged
had
some
a name.
questions.
Sorry?
Oh, yeah.
My friends messaged some questions.
Oh.
Do you want me to just read them out? She sent me them on WhatsApp. So, hi Sophie, hi Jason, hi Jay. I feel like it's saying that, but anyway. What was our reaction walking into Disneyland, as in Anaheim, for the first time? I'm assuming she means the Disneyland, not the resort in general.
I was walking down Main Street in sort of a daze.
Very similar. Especially because we made, well, I wouldn't say foolish, because looking back, I'm thinking that was a good idea. We got off the plane at around evening time, dumped our bags, went as fast as we could there. It was about 10 o'clock after an 11.5-hour flight. And we just thought we need to get in. I don't care if I just go to Main Street. I need to get in this park. So we were just kind of dazed, sleep deprived, but it was nice.
I had actually slept. I got in, I guess it must have been, I think, Monday night, probably. And then I went to my Airbnb, slept the night, and then got the Uber in. I remember being excited about the car. I think it was some Honda that I liked. So, and the guy who was driving it had me sit in front of him, and also he was very enthusiastic about the fact that it was my first time going to Disneyland. So he was like, so that was hyping up the experience. Get there, go in, and I was there early enough that it was for rope drop. So I'm just walking down Main Street. It was still a little bit quiet because it was still just starting to build up. There had been queues at the turnstile, but not like going all the way across the promenade or whatever. It was just queues. So I'm just sort of slowly walking down. Like, wow, this is real. It's really, I'm here. Wow. And then also it was when Pokemon Go was popular, so everyone was playing Pokemon Go.
But yeah, that's kind of how I felt the next morning.
For me,
that kind of days, wow, I'm here.
Yeah. See, for me, I arrived around 6-7 p.m. ish, dropped my bags off at my hotel, and Sophie and Jason were staying at a different hotel, but they were staying at staying at a different hotel for the first night, but then they were staying at mine on the second. So it was a case of I needed to meet them for the keys. So I just decided I'd meet them at the plaza because they were still in the park. And I didn't go in purposely that night. I heard the train. And I was like, holy shit, that's the Disneyland train. And then the next morning, I purposely got like a 7:30 reservation at Plaza with Minnie. So that I could before even boat drop because it was at 8 a.m. that morning. And I walked in and I read the plaque and I was like, okay, I'm here. Look, walked in by the left-hand side because where you do for the reservations. I was like, that's Walt's apartment. Where's the lamp? Because it's Christmas. They had the tree instead of the lamp. And then I turned onto Main Street and went, that's the Matterhorn. Holy, you know. And then I literally was in floods of tears. And then my next thought was, why is the castle so small? That was like, you know, that was like my first impression of seeing the castle was, why is it so small?
Someone told me that was their first reaction to the Paris castle after I had already seen California's. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I think it was Richie who told me a while back that the Firehouse building on Disneyland Paris is the same size as California Castle.
Smaller
and I was looking at it before I went. I'm like, it can't be that small. And now I'm like,
it is.
Okay, that's
turrets
just
are in the same place and everything.
Yeah, I know. It's only like the Disney. You never believe it's like seeing the Mona Lisa. Everyone always talks about but the thing is for me is like when I saw the Mona Lisa, because everyone's saying it's so small, I was expecting it to be tiny, and it's actually a lot bigger than I was expecting, because everyone talks about how small it is. So I was thinking it was going to be the Mona Lisa type thing that everyone was talking about how small it is. But it's not actually that as small as you're thinking in your head. And then you see it, and then it's like, that is actually really small.
Yeah, it's not big.
I mean, no. I mean, the thing is that set it off for me was I read the plaque. The Here You Enter Today, the land of, and then it was, I think it was a case of, I had some time before my reservation, so I managed to have a bit of a walk around because they don't actually, even at the desk, they won't actually take your reservation till the reservation time. Well, they didn't for me at the Plaza Inn because of how early it was. So, and also because I was on my own, they did say I could push it back to 8 o'clock if I wanted to. So I did do, because I was already in the park. So by the time I managed to walk around Small World, it would just opened. So I was like on my own boat because I absolutely adore Mary Blair's artwork. So I had my own boat going around Small World. So for me, it was like taking in all of the Mary Blair aspects of it all. And then it's things like remembering things like for the 64 World's Fair, there's still actually packing stickers on the back of some of the props. And I was turning around trying to look at see if I could see the packing stickers, but I couldn't.
What did you do first?
So it was like.
Do you remember the first thing we did was? I think we might have went to Galaxy's Edge first, just because it was a new thing. And we thought, need to get the guy, need to see this land, So, oh no, actually, I'm wrong. I remember now. First attraction was Space Mountain.
Okay, yeah.
Because it was the only thing that was pretty much a walk on at the time. And we just kind of got in, and that's where I ended up buying my annual pass in the queue of Space Mountain.
That's great.
Which is mad.
I went to when I went, it was obviously it was late 2016, so it was well before Galaxy's Edge was open. They were still building it, but the last vestiges of their season of the Force was still there. It had ended, but bits of it had hung over. So the eatery in Tomorrowland was still the Galactic Grill. So I went there. I got my Bantha Blue Milk French toast because it was the only thing that involved blue milk. And it also made me start liking French toast, so that was good. And then after that, I went tourist attraction just beyond there for the Finding Nemo submarine voyage because it's unique. I never got to go on the submarine voyage because they pulled it out of Epcot before I got there. So it's classic.
Yeah, it drenches you because of everything's leaking.
Yes,
it has a lot of charm.
I do enjoy the fact that they've put Nemo attractions basically everywhere, and they reuse a lot of the elements of like the screens and the projection images of the Pepper's Ghost fish or whatever. But every single one of those attractions is a different kind of attraction. There's a people mover, there's a roller coaster, there's the submarine voyage, and they're all basically interconnected by retelling the elements of Finding Nemo and using those effects. But every single one of them is a different attraction. Every single one. Crush's coaster, obviously a coaster, and you've got the Seas with Nemo and Friends. I think Crush's is the only one that isn't repurposed as well, which says something about a few attractions there are in Paris. Hey, I mean, I think some people think that the Nemoification of the submarine voyage is sacrilege, but I figure if it saved it from the same fate as Florida,
I think
it's worth.
Like I was kind of thinking, I'd rather not have Nemo, but if it was a choice between you're getting Nemo or you're getting no submarines, get Nemo in it.
Yeah, give me the submarines. Yeah, whatever it takes to give me the submarines, I'll keep the submarines.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first thing you ate?
Sorry?
Do you remember the first thing you ate at Disneyland when you went?
Oh.
Were you a churro man?
I'm going to consult my phone photos to say.
Because you almost certainly food stabbed it.
Chances are I took a picture of the first thing I ate.
It's one of the things you do when you eat at a theme park. How does Derek Bergen put it? The camera eats first, or is it Bricker says that? I think one of them.
Surprisingly, either I didn't eat anything that night, or didn't take a photo because the first food is the next morning at IHOP.
Fair. IHOP is pretty great.
I needed IHOP. I needed to try this thing, see what everyone was talking about, and it was worth it. It was
waffles.
Worth it.
Waffles are always good. The Mickey waffles are the best kind, but IHOP waffles are fine
for sure.
I was thinking recently that I should have bought a Mickey waffle maker when I had the chance.
Oh yeah, to have those. I always forget about them.
Because now I can't get them at all.
Yeah.
You think I wouldn't? You think I don't want to get through this lockdown by having Mickey waffles on tap?
That's one thing as well. That's one thing that you really miss the snacks. I've just pretty much all I've been thinking about are the Disney snacks lately.
It's withdrawal.
I want a churro. I want a beignet, Mickey beignets so badly.
It's heartbreaking.
It's getting to the stage where I'll even settle for some of the power stuff.
Yeah.
I'll settle for a Groot cookie.
Now, to be fair, we do have the best Mickey waffles.
True, we do.
We spent like a decade without any, which how? But when they came back, they were better than everybody else's. So.
Pretty much overnight they arrived.
And jumped straight to the top of the Disneyland Paris snacking rank table.
I remember when they came back, they just kind of came back one day. It was like, oh yeah,
that food truck just suddenly had them.
Yeah, there's that food truck outside Mickey the Magician, and then we all just kind of were around it.
It was even more of a shock than when Victoria's went from being irrelevant to everyone wants to go there constantly.
Yeah.
Can't even get in anymore. It's queues out the door.
And it's also because they decided, we're either the indoors open or the outdoors open, but never both.
Operational problems particularly with food at Disneyland Paris? Surely not, Luke. Surely not. Whoever heard of such a thing?
I'm starting to think maybe they were ahead of us and they just wanted to have the essential restaurants open. They were ahead of Game of for everyone else. They only had the essentials open.
I mean, maybe, but have you seen their queuing situation? That's not social distancing. Uh, hey, we've we've got the biggest restaurant in the park. How many of these checkouts should we open? These two. What about those other 17? Nah,
No, just two.
just these two. These two next to each other. Cram everyone in.
And then their grand big plan to fix it all. We're going to open another one.
One.
Oh dear. I just hope whenever this all ends and the parks go back to normal, the restaurants better be open.
Yeah.
Just
It's
so
a
have the restaurants open again.
horrible feeling that their cuts to make back the money will be, hey, let's just not run the restaurants, even though they're where we make most of our revenue.
Yep, I just have a feeling it's going to come back with a vengeance to cut restaurants. But I hope to be wrong.
Yeah, that would be the best. I do miss the food. But I mean, food in general in this situation is
Yes, that's true. There's a lot
proving to be an issue. How are you getting on with your lockdown cooking?
Sorry?
How are you getting on with your lockdown cooking? Have you got supplies? Are you?
Yeah, we've got a good. Yeah, we've managed to get nothing. We've got we're not no stockpile or nothing, but we don't need to. We've a shop down the road, but it's what you miss is the takeouts, the stuff you can or restaurants you can go in and eat.
Yes, I've seen a lot of people struggling to comprehend the fact that right now, if you want a McDonald's or a KFC, you can't.
You can't. Yeah,
There's none.
there's none.
Remember that time KFC ran out of chicken and people
Yep.
were phoning 999? Well, now there isn't just no chicken. There's no KFC.
Yep.
You can't even get their awful fries. KFC has bad fries.
Sorry?
KFC has bad fries.
No, they do.
I'm saying it.
I mean, they've gotten better,
Yeah.
but they're still not the best. But they've gotten better.
To be honest, I don't really like Burger King's fries. See me? I don't think King fries are very good. And what?
I still think Five Guys is the best.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
I think the thing with the KFC and the Burger King was is if you're gonna make a French fry, it needs to be thin. Don't make it kind of thin. That's not either make it a chip or make it a French fry. You know, this is the hill I choose to die on. It's a steak chip or it's a French fry. There's no in between. Maybe a crinkle cut.
A what?
Crinkle cut.
Never heard of that.
A crinkle cut chip, you know, with the wavy edges.
Oh, I just call them weeby chips.
I mean, yeah, it works.
I just go basic.
Here's what I want to know: why are curly fries always seasoned?
That's a good question.
I've never seen a plain curly fry. There's always some kind of spice.
Yeah, why is that? That's a good question.
If you know, put an answer in the comments because I do they need the spices to make them curl? I don't know anything about cooking, as you can probably tell. We appear to have lost Hannah. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, what's happened? Did she disconnect or?
She's still in there, but I can't see any video or she's still muted her mic. So perhaps Bongo the dog has accosted her. Let's just drop a quick message in here. Ask her if everything is all right. Because you know, people disappearing usually not a good time.
Sorry.
So look, you put an article on your blog recently about games you want to see on the Nintendo Switch.
Ah, yes, I did on my personal blog, the Don Disney one I have. The first blog in over a year I decided to put up. Yep, that's it there. luke'sfaultbubble.wordpress.com.
Oh yeah,
First time in over a year I put something on it. Where I just was thinking about the Switch. Thinking about that. There's a lot of games I kind of wish I'd wanted. So let's do a list.
So I noticed A lot of classic platformers. A lot of
Yeah,
some
I love-
old school stuff on there.
I love my old school platformers.
I'm a big fan. Deep cut in there, Klonoa.
Yes, oh, I would love to see a new clone. It was such a good series. Did you? I'm assuming you played it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, the first one or both of them, or
I think I've played them both. And
I've
possibly
only
the
played, I've only played the second one, but I know of the first one, and I know it's pretty similar. They're not.
There's a ring, you bounce on enemies.
It's the same idea. But yeah, that's a series I want to see return. Especially because what else are Bandai Namco doing now?
What are the
Exactly, like apart from
Maybe-
Pokemon.
fighting games? I don't know.
Like I don't know. All I know is they have Pac-Man and Klonoa.
Ah, yes, Pac-Man.
That's it.
Pac-Man Championship Edition was pretty good.
Sorry.
Pac-Man Championship Edition was pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Actually.
I liked grinding against the wall to make little sparks.
And then one thing I was surprised to see, kinda, one of my predictions actually came true in the most recent Nintendo Direct.
I was
For
wondering
Burnout.
about that. Yes.
Yes, I was quite excited about that.
Burnout Paradise remastered, making its way onto Switch sometime this year.
Yes,
Yay.
it's one of the few games that doesn't have an actual date,
Yes.
as I've been trying to pre-order it and I can't.
Yeah. But at least it's,
It's
coming.
coming. It's coming. Hopefully.
It's a good match. There aren't a lot of racing games on the Switch, which is weird because it's a portable system.
Yeah.
So you can make racing games quite bite-sized, depending on what your races.
Yeah.
It's Mario Kart and Grid, really.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then you
Pretty
can't
awesome.
really big. It's not really a racing game, but you're driving it.
They also finally put Borderlands on. That's coming at the end of May, I think.
Yes, I saw that one. That might tempt me.
That seemed like a no-brainer to me. I can't believe it took this long.
Yeah, it's exactly. It seemed like one that was bound to happen. Just why did it take so long?
Especially because last year with Borderlands 3 coming out, they remastered all the old games
Yeah.
again because they had actually already done that on this generation of hardware, but they
Yeah.
didn't put it on Switch. At the announcement where they were saying they were like, we're putting out all these Borderlands games again, and then all this on PlayStation 4 and Xbox, and then on Switch we've got Bulletstorm.
Oh yeah, I remember it.
Who cares about Bulletstorm? No one on earth.
No one cared about it when it came out.
Yeah, there's no one who was going, oh, you know what I really miss? Bulletstorm. That game where they swear all the time.
Yeah, I remember getting it once with the PlayStation Plus. Where it was one of the free games. I think it lasted about 20 minutes. I thought, no, this is no good. I just gave up.
I just could not stand the dialogue.
That's like it's not a good game. It just really isn't.
But at least they've made amends now. We're getting
Yeah.
the good one, Borderlands, which is what everyone wanted.
Sure. Sorry about that.
Sorry. Well, it looks like we have lost Hannah.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. As we said earlier, the internet is not doing so well lately.
No.
So maybe that's just what's happened. But if you want to catch up on what Hannah's doing and maybe find out how she dropped out, I don't know.
Yep.
You can find her on Twitter and on Instagram at Orange Arnold. If you want to keep up with what Luke's up to in general,
Yep, you can find my personal account, Luke Brain Rights, where I just tweet random things that come to my mind or things I see. Could be games, football, Disney, random rants, anything at all.
or for
And
more
my-
focused experience.
Yep, and for my Disney account, where it's focused mostly in Disneyland Paris because it's my home park. It's the place I'm most familiar with. But I'll try. Sometimes I put more general Disney too. But you'll find out at the DLP Geek.
Mm-hmm. And there are corresponding websites for Luke's general blogging, as we mentioned earlier. It's still up
Yep.
on WordPress.com.
Yep, I'm hoping to get more stuff out there. One thing I'm working on is a Simpsons top 10.
Ooh, that's a tease right there.
Yeah, because with Disney Plus out now, I was thinking this is my chance now to properly nail down a top 10 list.
This is one way it's time to shine. That's a real deep cut reference there. Most people will not recognize that because nobody watched the later seasons of The Simpsons, and it's your loss, people. It's your loss. And for, again, the more Disney-focused stuff.
Yep, for DLPgeek.com is for Disney. These is mostly news, but I'll throw in a review sometimes, or the odd opinion piece, or if I find something from like Disney history that's kind of not been discussed a lot about, I'll give it time to shine.
Well, a great opinion pieces on there. Has mastered the art of the long form.
Thank you. I like to ramble.
Yeah, sometimes it's needed. Yeah, everyone's into hot takes lately, but
Yeah,
something a bit more refined every now and then. I feel is worth a look.
sorry.
It's a bit more refined every now and then is worth a look. Oh, hang on, there's Hannah.
Yeah,
Let's see if we can get everything for the end here. Hannah?
Oh.
Oh, no. It's gone back to black. No sign of sound. Okay, I'll drop that again. Hopefully it might improve before we go. But for me, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram under normal circumstances at TVBallD. And then for Disney stuff, at TVBallDisney. I do have a website, and it's quite easy to remember because I changed it to something that would actually be, simple, because I was sick of my old one, which was too long. 20 words. 3, I think. No, it's just that.
much easier.
Yes. Way, way easier to remember.
To the point.
Exactly. Quick and to the point. Let's see. One more time. Let's see if we can Hannah again. Hannah? Can you hear us? Well, we have a still image.
Oh.
Some motion. Still not hearing any sound. The internet. It's really holding up well under this social distancing that we're all having to live with.
Yep,
Right, I'm back.
There she is.
hey!
You can find Hannah online at Orange Arnold. Hannah, how was falling off the edge of the internet there? Nope. Still nothing? Nope.
And she's fallen off again.
I can't tell if she can hear us or not.
I have no idea.
I
Yes,
feel like there's sound coming through.
Nope.
Oh,
We got a yes.
I can hear you. Sorry
you're coming in and
about
out.
that. Bongo started for no reason.
Let's go.
Is Bongo okay? We can't go without confirming that Bongo is okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is Bongo all right? Can you hear us?
1 second.
I think that's a no. But I also think we really can't go until we know for sure that Bongo is all right.
Yes, we need to know.
So Hannah, as soon as you're able, go ahead and let us know that Bongo is all right. Otherwise, I will be no doubt inundated with countless comments demanding to know the status of the dog, because if there's one thing I know the internet doesn't like, it's the implication that a dog is in distress.
Yes.
Or a cat, but less so. Dogs are better than cats.
Yeah. No, I love cats. I love both.
Cats are fine. Just dogs are slightly better.
Okay, there, I'm back.
Okay. Is Bongo all right?
At least I should be.
We can hear you. We want you to confirm if Bongo is okay. She can't hear us, can she?
No.
I can hear you, but I
But
don't
you're
know
not
if you
saying that Bongo.
can hear me.
We can definitely hear you,
We can hear you as Bond.
but you still haven't told us if Bongo's all right, and that's what we're anticipating.
Is yeah, I'm here. Finally.
Is it?
Oh, I can hear myself now. So yeah,
I think it might be lagging.
he's okay.
There you go. He's okay.
And
Hey,
I don't know what it was. Okay, it was just limp.
Oh, look.
Yeah. Sorry about that. It was just one of those situations where you didn't really want to hear me like being proper dog
There's no way you're
mum.
going to be able to read that. No.
So
That's gross.
yeah. It was
All right.
just a case of
For-
attention limp because there's something in his paw, but when you try and take it out of his paw, he's
Okay. But Bongo is all right.
well. No, it looks perfectly fine climbing on me like an hour and 20 minutes ago, as we. So this is Disney World Castle, by the way. Appropriate.
The video is well behind as well.
Yeah. Oh, we got confirmation.
Yes, so that's good.
Yeah.
So if you want to know any more about Bongo's condition, once again, you can follow Hannah at Orange Arnold.
Yeah.
And again, Luke is Luke Green Writes.
Yep. Thank you.
Or the DOP Geek. I'm TV Paul D or TV Paul Disney. This is Tea with Paul. Thank you for joining us for this first crazy broadcast as we threw everything together. As you saw particularly with Anna. Oh, there she goes again. We've had some issues with the infrastructures. The world as being the state it is right now, everything is just having to go with how it is. But thanks for watching either the live broadcast or if you're watching on demand. Thanks for catching up with us. I'll try and be back again at some point. Unfortunately, because of the way I work, I can't do every week because I don't free on the same days every week, which is super inconvenient. You don't think it until you start doing it, but it is. But maybe Thursday? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't actually know for sure what days I'm even working this coming week because that's the world we live in now.
Everything's confusing right now.
Everything's up in the air pretty much constantly.
Yeah.
But at some point, I will try and do another episode or two, Paul. So if you're interested out there in jumping on as guests, Tea with Paul is an open discussion area for everyone to have a chat and socialize in these times of social distancing and self-isolation. As far as I'm concerned, anyone can be an interesting person. So there's no, unlike Wikipedia, but like TV tropes, we have no notability here. So if you think you've got something to say, we're happy to hear it. I'm happy to have a chat with you, grab some tea, and do some tea with Paul. Hannah appears to be trying to get back on as we finish up. But she's gone again. So I think we're going to have to leave it there. But this is the first Tea with Paul. Luke, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me on. Pleasure.
Thank you very much. our thanks also to Hannah for making the best of it that she could before her internet sadly let her down. As it always lets all of us down at the worst possible times. You know how it is. Thanks for being on, Hannah. And thanks to those of you who go at home again for watching. Like I said, I'll try and be back. But until then, stay safe out there, everyone. And I will try and see you next time for another Tea with Paul.
Bye.
Bye.